Gracious day to you. I hope today you are able to just realize that sometimes all we need in life is a little bit of grace. I am Coach Brain. For those of you who do not know me, back at service here to support you and your loved one, which is something that I love and adore doing. Today's topic is something that is really troublesome for me even to vocalize, let alone to accept that this is becoming the norm of our society, especially with our youth. You see, when we we're growing up, we never heard anybody say, "Oh, I'm anxious," or "I have anxiety." We didn't even really know what those words meant. We would just kind of sit down and play, with our friends, with our family, with our extended family, with our neighbors, and spend a lot of time outdoors. And we would never sit in a place feeling like we had to withdraw from life, or that we had trouble concentrating, or even the fact that we avoided social situations, which is something that I think a lot of adolescents are facing nowadays. If you're a parent, I'm sure that you're able to see these things, but sometimes we don't want to recognize them as difficulties that our kids are going through. Often we're told, hey, you know what? It's just an age thing. They'll get over it. I apologize for being the bearer of bad news, but the research and the studies and the data shows that it does not just leave by itself. Anxiety is something that is it's really unique in a way that kids who feel it really have a lot of difficulties with simple things. So they'll kind of feel like their mind goes blank. They'll even have difficulty making eye contact with you or a random stranger or with students in their own grades. They'll just try to avoid social situations, even though they really want to find a way to connect. And this dilemma is facing so many of our youth. I think it's really important for us as parents to realize and embrace the fact that it's real. And maybe my child does have anxiety. And so start to look out for some of the signs that I've kind of mentioned to you as if this is something as an identifier for your child. And if it is, try this technique and see how it works for you. So it's called the 3-3-3 rule for anxiety. And what this rule does is kind of breaks the pattern of the child being in a state of anxiety for a long period of time. And it gives them a simple tool to recenter, rethink, and refocus. I want you to work with yourself. If you're somebody that faces anxiety, hey, try it out before you actually, offer this to your child, or maybe to somebody else that you see going through anxiety. Name 3 things that you can see. And what this is going to do is going to shift the attention from where you currently are to your surrounding, and you're just becoming more present and aware. So the first one is name 3 things that you see. The second one is name 3 things that you hear. And that could be, I hear the heater because it's cold out. I hear the water running, or I just hear my own voice. Sometimes they might even say, I hear my own thoughts. Regardless, it's okay. It's a great way for them to see what actually is around them instead of the story that they've created in their own minds. And then I want you to encourage them to move 3 body parts, right? So that could be something as simple as their eyes, looking side to side, your hands, just because you feel like it. And, just take a step, whatever that is. So this 3-3-3 rule, it's kind of set out to actually help us, help children, help our loved ones refocus. It's a simple strategy that actually grounds anxiety and overwhelm. And what you'll start to see is just simple practice of 3-3-3 will provide you with more tools for your own toolkit as parents. It'll actually give your kids and equip them with a simple strategy that actually can work and has been effective in spotting anxiety, but then actually progressing to decrease it. So you see, if you don't take the time today to encourage your children, your loved ones, your adolescents, to break the cycle of anxiety and to actually learn how to deal with it, it actually has tremendous long-term damages. And when I say damages, it really does lead to depression. It will have elevated cardiovascular diseases for them. It could even actually have them have higher blood pressure. And who knows what else is there. So as I am here every single week, every single day, every single month, here serving you and your loved ones, I want you to actually start to see some patterns, some things that you're noticing. Does your child make eye contact? Does your child avoid social situation? Does your child not finish work on time? Are they afraid of making mistakes? You know, do you see them rising above and believing in themselves? And do you see them pause because it became too much and too overwhelming? And hopefully that can actually start to begin to open a dialogue where you can actually start to transform your child's life or just be there to support them on their journey. With that said, I'm sending you a whole lot of umberji and tons of love. Take good care.